welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. It is show number 133, and welcome to the program. My name is Andrew Marotta, host of the program, and happy to be with you. Happy to be a member of the Education Podcast Network, as well as on Voice Ed Radio Canada. Excited to be with you. So I had a scheduled guest today. It's Thursday, July 30th. And a person canceled. Something came up. So I just wasn't going to run the program, but I just couldn't do that, right? It's important to keep our routines going. It's important to keep the things that we're doing going despite all that's happening, right? So I just thought about, hey, just not doing the show today. I had not scheduled it yet here on Be Live. But I said, you know what? I'll reschedule that person and let's continue with show number 133. So today's show is going to be a number of things. It's going to be an update about some of the work that I got going on. It's going to be a discussion on Hamilton. If you've watched or you haven't watched Hamilton on Disney Network, just incredible, really incredible. And I won't give it all away, but incredible. And then lastly, I got some stories I wanted to share. I don't get to tell them much here on the program because we have a guest, right? And I want to highlight and spotlight the guest. But the work I've been doing, certainly virtually now, people are enjoying the stories, and I want to share that with you today. So a potpourri of sorts is kind of what we're going to do today. Last week I spoke about Havesies Cookies, and I want to thank them again for sponsoring the program. People said, Andrew, how the heck are you a cookie company sponsoring you? Well, the story is, and again, check them out. Marotta15 is that discount code. You can get 15% off. But David Maffei was an administrator in Orange County. I think actually Dutchess County is Beacon. And David actually decided to step away from the world of education. And he got these great cookies. They're fantastic. They're unbelievable. And again, David's sponsoring the show, and I appreciate that, but I wouldn't be saying that if they weren't great. So he started a family, him and his beautiful wife Heather, and wanted to be home, wanted to be full-time with his kid, but has these cookies going. So check them out. Again, it's called Havesies Cookie Company, and you can learn the story about Havesies and why he's only got half. It's really cool, but they are fantastic, and check them out. Also, I'm going to share some stories from Dan Spanauer's Coaching and Leadership Journal. Dan has been a longtime friend of the program. We just re-upped this year, and Dan gave me this nice card here, and a little thank you card. But this is the Coaching and Leadership Journal. If you're looking for some inspiration, if you're looking for stories, if you're looking for motivation, this is it. Marotta 20 will give you a 20% off the annual discount. I just got this. This is the August version. I just got it in the mail yesterday. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So 10 in total of stories, of motivation. And I haven't even read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. A lot in here on equality and the racial inequities that are happening around our country, that have been happening, and Dan highlights them. So I recommend these, the Coaching and Leadership Journal, and Dan is at the leadershippublishingteam.com. Check this out. Marotta 20 will give you a 20% discount. Okay. Again, 3 things. We're going to do some updates. We're going to talk a little bit about Hamilton, and then I want to end with some great stories. So the first one is I'm excited to announce, it's going to be kicking off here soon this fall, my second book, The Partnership, Surviving and Thriving. I've been working on that, and again, in the surviving and thriving theme. And the partnership is going to be about schools and families working more closely together. How can schools and families come closer together? What are some things that families and parents can do to build better relationships with the school district, the school teachers, the parents, the guidance counselors, the administrators, right? And I got, again, 125 tips about things that families can do, not only to help build those relationships, but also to help support their kid in school. right? So one example, a parent gets really angry about something at school, and that happens. And I understand that, and I get that as a parent myself, but also as the school administrator. But so many parents then go on Facebook and start bashing the teacher or bashing the school or bashing the principal or whoever. And like, is that the best way to get the result that you want? You know, the result that you're looking for is a great opportunity for your kid, is a great, situation for your kid. And if you're not happy with it, killing the person on social media, is just not the way to do it. I see Corey's asking my favorite flavor, the cookies. Corey, I'm a chocolate chip guy. He's got some pretty different flavors in there. He's got cotton candy or cake flavor. He's got some different things. I'm a chocolate chip guy. I'm doing the 7 C's now. I can't really eat those, but I would say chocolate chip, Corey. You pop them in the microwave or you put them in the oven for a little bit. Perfect. But back to what I was saying, right? So that book is going to be coming out next year sometime. I'm happy to be working with EduMatch Publishing company out of DC. They are educators for educators, and I'm excited about that project, the partnership, Surviving and Thriving. Stay tuned. Also excited, The Principal is going to be republished. I connected with Routledge Publishing Company, and the book is being republished. I added 19 more tips. So we're going to get to 144 tips. I added 19 more. It's going to be republished. I'm excited about that with Routledge Publishing, ION Education Books. And we tweaked it a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. That being said, I have a number of copies. So I'm going to discount these through September 1st. So on my website, use the code Murata20. It'll give you 20% off. $16. It'll get the book too. Free shipping. I'll even sign it for you. Again, I have some copies of the original here. The second edition is going to be coming out. That'll also be coming out winter, springtime, depending on what's happening with COVID and all of that. So these things are happening. I've enjoyed the writing. I've enjoyed the blog, but a lot of stories, a lot of tinkering in that brain of mine. And I'm excited about these projects, and I appreciate the family and friends that have been part of it. I have a number of excerpts from families and friends that I've met along the way that I admire as parents that do things for their children as parents. So they wrote excerpts in there. One of those people is my cousin, Denise Dix. Denise is a wonderful young lady. Her daughters, Megan and Shannon, great kids. But she wrote about organization in there and what she does to organize her family and her family calendar. And so I appreciate that. But again, there's a number of people that gave excerpts in there. So I used to be able to see who's watching. I don't know what happened here on Be Live, but if you are watching live and you want to leave some comments, please do so. And I appreciate your support. The next thing, as you know, as a principal and an author, I've been doing some presentations, some consulting, some workshops, things like that. And I do a number of them virtually now. I really enjoy them. I've stepped away from my officiating career to do more of that. So I have a number of things virtual. If your school district is looking for something different, I have a few options. They could certainly reach out to me on Twitter or on my email, andrewmurata@gmail.com. And I wanted to share one of the stories from them. I have one of the programs is called Leadership Lessons from the Hardwood. And those are lessons and leadership points that I learned through my time officiating. And how do I use those lessons now as a school leader? How do I use those lessons as a parent? How do I use those lessons to help other school administrators, right? Excuse me. So the name of this story is called Welcome to Notre Dame, right? And I used to referee in the ACC. It was a cool gig. It was a lot of fun, and I went to a lot of great places. So I go to Notre Dame the first time, and you have to be there 2 hours before the game. So generally, there might be people tailgating and that kind of stuff, but generally there's not a lot of people around 2 hours before the game, except the parking personnel. So I work my way into the campus and I get to the outer skirts of the arena. And somebody's standing there. They're dressed with the yellow jacket and the parking kind of stuff. And I know they're the parking person. So I roll down the window. I say, hey, I'm Andrew. I'm one of the referees for the game. They say, oh, welcome to Notre Dame, Andrew. Let me got a little clipboard there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Andrew, Michelle is down there a little bit a ways. I'm going to tell her you're coming. Have a great game and welcome to Notre Dame. Michelle, Andrew's on his way. I go driving down. There's Michelle, right? She says, Andrew, welcome to Notre Dame. Mike over there is going to direct you into the parking lot. He's in the next parking lot in. He's going to direct you in. Mike, Andrew's on his way. Andrew, have a great game. Welcome to Notre Dame. Pull up to Mike. Mike says, Andrew, welcome to Notre Dame. Joe is right there in your parking spot. He's waving to you. Go ahead and drive forward to where Joe is, and Joe will get you parked. Thanks, Mike. Andrew, welcome to Notre Dame. Pull up. There's Joe. Joe waves me in, kind of comes to the door. Andrew, welcome to Notre Dame. I'm Joe. Have a great game. Nicole here on the sidewalk is going to take you to the arena. It's right down the sidewalk here. Welcome to Notre Dame. I'm like, oh, my God, this is unbelievable. Oh, hi, Nicole. Oh, Andrew, hi. Welcome to Notre Dame. How was your flight? How was your drive in? How is everything? Great. Go pulling in, right? Nicole walks me to the door of the arena. Andrew, I'm going to pass you off to Tim. Tim's going to walk you to the locker room. Tim says, what do you think? Write it in the comments. What do you think Tim says? Welcome to Notre Dame. Oh, hey, Tim, how are you? Good to see you. Great. We go walking through the arena. He's telling me about the arena. He's talking to me about the school. And sure enough, when we get to the door of the locker room, who's standing there? But the old guy with the white beard, the green hat in the green suit, and he says with the Irish brogue, welcome to Notre Dame. True story. I couldn't believe the welcome that I got. Literally, everyone said welcome. And I just, it hit me like, wow, what an organization, right? What a way to greet people that are coming to their campus to work for them. And what a professional way to treat people. And I said, hey, I want to make sure people are treating guests at my school like this. So I've shared that story many a time with those that I work with about how to treat people when they come to our school in Port Jervis, right? How do I want people to be treated? Welcome to Port Jervis. How can I help you? How are you? How is your stay? What can I do for you? Things like that I think are so important. And I think it's important that we tell our people, that we talk to our people about the expectations of how our guests are treated. Clearly, somebody at Notre Dame said, hey, you gotta, this is what we want to do. I want you to make sure you treat the guests. And it's important that we say welcome, right? And I thought that was just great. So that's an example of a story that I will tell during one of the virtual workshops. And then I brainstorm with the school administrators. Well, what are some other things that we can do to be warm to our guests, to welcome our guests? So, for example, another thing that we do that I've started implementing over the past couple of years is when people come for interviews, I have students go out and greet them and bring them in to the school, right? Normally someone's coming to interview, they're a little nervous, they don't know where they're going, they kind of, so I have someone bring them in and welcome them in. And again, how do we treat our guests? I think that's important. And just a couple of examples of a story that I would tell at one of the virtual workshops. So if you're interested, certainly reach out. They've been a lot of fun for me as well as the people doing it. Okay, we'll check off all of that. Number 2, this is a recommendation, whether you have children or not, whether you have a loved one or not. Certainly if you have a family and you want to sit with them, we watched Hamilton, right? I like Broadway. I try to go once a year, maybe if I can afford it, maybe go twice. My wife and I have been going for a long time. And really, they're the best of the best, right? And certainly a shout out to those people, right? They're not able to work. They're not able to perform. And now that my kids are getting older, we've started to take them, right? Show them what it is. We took my little one, Tessa, to see Aladdin. Claire has been to Wicked. Claire's gone to a couple off-Broadways. And this year, Jen was supposed to go. My wife was supposed to go with Matthew to Harry Potter. And that, got canceled. But Broadway is incredible, right? And my wife and I were actually ready to go to Hamilton, and that got shut down. But if you haven't watched Hamilton, please do so. And my family and I, we're going to actually watch it again. Because one of the first things I'm going to talk about, it is so fast, right? They go so fast. That's right, Denise. You loved it. We're going to watch it again. It goes so fast. So now that we've been able to absorb it, now that my kids know the songs, because that's all they do is sing the songs now. They're incredible, right? So we're going to watch it again. Number one, it's really fast. Number two, it's really witty. The lines, the what they're saying in there, it just was so incredible, right? The wit, the humor, the bite some of the lines had in there, I thought was great. So that's two. The history, right? Learning about Aaron Burr and learning about Hamilton and his family and the son being killed. And Denise, good tip. Put the closed captions on so you can see the words underneath. Excellent, Denise. We might do that. But I learned a lot. History was not my favorite subject. Those that know me, Denise, you were involved. I had a concussion at an early age, and I don't remember a whole lot. So I didn't know really the story of Hamilton and all that he did to bring our country together. But certainly lost his son, had an affair, and wrote a public document about it. Like, whoa, that was heavy. So a lot of history in there. And then again, right, he had some missteps, and there's a lot of history in there, life lessons in there. Brian McCann, Case High Principals watching. Blessed to have seen the original cast off Broadway. Wow, Brian, you're a theater guy. That must have been special. A lot of life lessons in there, right? I'm blessed to have a great marriage and to hear Hamilton talk about how bad he felt having gone outside that marriage. What a difficult thing. But he wrote a public document about it. And then also Burr, the guilt he felt for the killing, right? And what happened there. The next thing about Hamilton, it is so different. It's really so different than anything, right? I've been to a lot, not as many as you, Brian McCann, but it's really different than anything I've ever seen. Just with the singing and the rapping and the lyrics, and just incredible. They sing the whole time, which was just incredible. And then the message of don't miss your shot, right? That's the kind of the theme song of the whole thing. Not going to miss my shot. I'm not going to sing it for you here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond. Excuse me. But that theme, right? Taking advantage of the situation and the moments, I thought was great. So I highly recommend Hamilton. Again, Team Murata here is going to watch it again. It's on Disney Plus. I'm not sure where else you can get it. But that was a great thing for my family and I, and just really enjoyed that energy there. And hey, man, if anybody knows the author and writer there, his name's escaped me at the moment, let's get him on the program because I'd love to talk to that gentleman. All right. We had some updates. We spoke a little bit about Hamilton, and now the third part of the program. I wanted to share a couple stories with you. One of my secrets, again, is Dan Spanauer's book here, Leading Narratives. You can find it at the Leadership Publishing team. Use that code Murata20. If you're a school administrator, if you need to speak in public, what's the best way to start a speech or a talk is with a story. Dan's got a ton of them in here. Some of them are R-rated. Full disclosure, there's some funny stories in there. They are R-rated. I love them, though. Great stories for the campfire with your college friends, your college reunion. But there's a lot in here that I use for school. The Cracked Pot is a great story. But today, I want to read you The Pencil. I used this story for my graduation speech this year. And certainly in this time, it was a challenging time. I wanted to really have something motivational for the kids. So this is a great resource, right? And I use it a lot here. Before I get there, Brian's wrote in here. Brian McCann, follow him on Twitter, Case High Principal. Brian is a lifelong Massachusetts principal, and was a theater major, and certainly he's on stage every day being a principal. Brian writes here, I'm reading Hamilton, The Revolution by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's the name. Loads of pictures, the complete libretto. That's a fancy word, Brian. We don't use that word in Staten Island. And lots of stories about the musical development. I'm sold, Brian. I'm in. Hamilton, The Revolution. I will check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. And I'm enjoying reading your comments here, everyone. If you are watching live or watch this afterwards, please leave a comment for me. All right, let's get to the pencil. And again, if you're a school administrator, if you're a business person, or you just want to become a better speaker, get some stories here. Leading Narratives by Dan Spanauer is a big help. LeadershipPublishingTeam.com, you can get it. Murata20 will give you a 20% off discount. All right, here we go. Are you ready? I'll put my principal storytelling voice on. Corey, if you're still watching, this is a great story. Maybe use it with your students. A long time ago, a master pencil maker was preparing to put a very important pencil into this beautiful handcrafted box. But before doing so, he took the pencil aside to give it some words of encouragement. See, when telling stories, you should have a prop with you too. I like the mechanical pencils. I don't have the real one here, but we'll go with it, right? Okay. He took the pencil aside to give it some words of encouragement. He said, listen, pencil, there are 5 things that you really need to know. If you can remember these 5 things, you're going to become one of the best pencils you can possibly be. You are going to have a huge impact on the world. And isn't that our goal, everyone, right? To have a huge impact on the world. First, he said, you will be able to do lots of great things, but only if you allow yourself to be held in someone else's hand. Second, he said, sharpening is going to be very painful, but it's vital if you want to become a great pencil. Third, he said, because you have an eraser, you will be able to correct most of your mistakes. But honestly, there are going to be some mistakes that are going to be harder to erase than others. 4, you may or may not look outside like you are a great pencil, but remember, it's what's on the inside that is most important. In fact, it's on the inside of you that's the most important of all. And lastly, 5th, whatever surface it is that you write on, whether it is soft or hard, rough or not, you've got to leave your mark. So just keep on writing. In order to make your mark, follow the attributes of the pencil. Story by Dan Spanauer. Well, Dan didn't write these. He accumulated these. My comments aren't moving. So I highly recommend that, and I hope you enjoyed that story. If you liked it and you need me to tell it again, reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at Andrew Murata21, and I certainly here on Facebook would be happy to help you with that. I think it's an important skill. I think it's something that has helped me as a parent, as a principal, and now as someone who helps and coaches other principals. The importance of speaking, the importance of storytelling, and the power of storytelling, right? Some of these stories can really have an impact. People might not remember exactly what you said, but they'll remember the story and the impact that had. So I love that story, The Pencil. Take it and use it as your own. That might be something, opening message to your students, your staff, things like that. If I could help you with a story, again, Dr. Rob Gilbert, a friend of mine, helped me with stories. If I could help you and give you something to share, I'd be happy to do that and help you out. All right, the last thing I wanted to share is the 5 SWs. I've talked a little bit about this before on the program. Something that helps you going, right? They said in the story there, The Pencil, just keep on writing, keep on going, keep rolling. So I go back to the 5 SWs. If you have a, pun intended, a pencil in your hand, write them down, okay? The 5 SWs. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting, so stick with it. That's from sales, right? It's not the amount of times you fail in sales. It's the ones you get that count. right? It's not the amount of times you don't close the deal. Well, it's the same in our world of education, right? You have a bad experience, you have a bad email, you have a bad meeting, you have a bad lesson, right? You have a bad whatever. The 5 SWs. Sometimes it will work out. Sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Stick with it. You got to keep rolling, right? You got to keep going. You got to keep rolling. And those help me. Those help me keep going. Again, my guest today, something happened. Something came up. She had to cancel. She couldn't be here with us. She'll be back on if you're curious of who that was. But she will be back on soon. But I decided, hey, we got to keep going. We got to keep rolling. So I like that 5 SWs. And I encourage you to put it into your mindset. Keep rolling. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Stick with it. All right, everybody, we're going to sign off. Again, there's a discount through September 1st on my website, Murata20. You can get it $16. I'll sign it and get it out to you. If you're interested in bulk for your school, reach out to me and I'll see what we can do for you. Again, I also want to thank David Maffei and his cookies here. Use this code. Brian, you'll love these cookies. Murata15 Halvesies Cookie Company.com. Check them out. David is a great friend of mine, and really the cookies are awesome. So I appreciate his friendship and his sponsorship. That's right, Brian, the 5 SWs. And I know we still got to talk because I want to talk to you about something. So we're going to sign off. I'm going to put the music back on. Thanks to Denise for watching, Brian, Corey, everyone watching today. I'll be back on next week. We have a principal and a referee from Minnesota joining us. I'm looking forward to hearing those stories. That'll be next week. Let me put this music back on and get it rolling. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This is Andy Murata, host of the program here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. I am at Andrew Murata21. If I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out. And it was nice to do this, right? A little check-in. Maybe we'll add this into the routine every once in a while. Just get me going. So thanks, everybody. Keep going, doing great things in your schools and community, and keep rolling.